Hello, everyone. This is Anthony. And for those of you that don't know, I live in Southern California. I don't live in Los Angeles, but I live pretty close. And I always believe that if anybody has a forum that they can share information on, it is their duty to do so. And I see many people that have bigger forums than I do that are not really sharing things. And, well, I guess I'm taking it upon myself to try to write that and make that a little bit better. So even if I have no followers, which I haven't really looked at my statistics lately, the last I did not. I want to read a few things and just kind of give you guys some information. So the first thing I'm reading is from the ACLU, and it's your rights if you're attending a protest. Your rights are strongest in what are known as traditional public forums, such as streets, sidewalks, and parks. You also likely have the right to speak out on other public property, like plazas in front of government buildings, as long as you're not blocking access to the government building or interfering with other purposes that the property was designed for. Private property owners can set rules for speech on their property. The government may not restrict your speech if it has taken place on your own property or with the consent of the property owner. Counter-protesters also have free speech rights. Police must treat protesters and counter-protesters equally. Police are permitted to keep antagonistic groups separate, but they should allow them to be within sight and sound of one another. When you are lawfully present in any public space, you have the right to photograph anything in plain view. This includes federal buildings, the police. On private property, the owner may set rules related to photography or video. You don't need a permit to march in the streets or on sidewalks as long as marchers don't obstruct car or pedestrian traffic. If you don't have a permit, police officers can ask you to move to the side of the street or a sidewalk to let others pass or for safety reasons. So what to do if you believe your rights have been violated? When you can, write down everything you remember, including the officer's badge and patrol car numbers and the agency they work for. Get contact information of witnesses. Take photographs of any injuries. Once you have all this information, you can file a written complaint with the agency's Internal Affairs Division or Civilian Complaint Board. So what happens if the police issues an order to disperse the protest? Shutting down a protest through a dispersal order must be law enforcement's last resort. Police may not break up a gathering unless there is a clear and present danger of riot, disorder, interference with traffic, or other immediate threat to public safety. If officers issue a dispersal order, they must provide a reasonable opportunity to comply, including sufficient time and a clear, unobstructed exit path. Individuals must receive clear and detailed notice of a dispersal order, including how much time they have to disperse, the consequences of failing to disperse, and what clear exit route they can follow. And this must happen before they may be arrested or charged with any crime. The next thing I want to read is a post from an Instagram user with the handle @AddieLamar.sh, and I'll include this in my show notes, as well as the link to the ACLU. And this is how to hack surveillance tech, facial recognition, and gate evasion 101. Number 1, ditch the phone, it's a snitch. Your phone leaks your real-time location, your identity through your SIM or IMEI, your social graph. Even if the phone is in airplane mode, it's emitting data and it can connect to an ISMI catcher known as a Stingray. And she mentions using mesh static, and if you want, you can go ahead and look that up. And again, I'll include the link in the show notes. Disrupt facial recognition with pattern warfare. Facial recognition relies on symmetry, contrast points, and thermal mapping. You can hack it with adversarial makeup, infrared blocking glasses, patterned face masks or scarves, reflective surfaces, or mirrored gear at night. The AI sees shapes, give it chaos. And then gait recognition. Your gait, the way you walk, can identify you. You can hack it by putting a small rock in one shoe, wearing a brace or weighted clothing, walking with an intentional limp or altered rhythm, switching bags or gears to unbalance your posture. Your gait is a biometric. Break the baseline. Blend in, then scramble. Don't stand out, but don't stay consistent either. Wear generic protest colors, move in coordinated affinity groups, change layers, cover your tattoos, switch jackets. Bring non-distinct swappable gear, such as sunglasses, gloves, and masks. The more uniform the crowd, the harder it is to isolate targets. Avoid Bluetooth and Wi-Fi pings. Even without your phone, many wearables still leak signals. So disable or leave behind smartwatches, fitness trackers, Bluetooth earbuds, Wi-Fi enabled GoPros. Every signal is a breadcrumb. Number 6, use LoRa mesh for off-grid comm. Instead of phones, use Meshtastic. No SIM, no Wi-Fi, no metadata. Encrypted messages, works in blackouts, shutdowns, and high-risk zones. It's cheap and decentralized. Add a keyboard node and you don't need a phone at all. And remember, everything is evidence. Assume that every photo is being logged, every movement can be replayed, every contact can be mapped. That's why your choices now protect your future self. That's why choices now protect your future self. Surveillance thrives on patterns. Your job is to break them. Again, thank you. And for anybody planning to protest, please stay safe out there. And goodbye.